Hey, folks, we are now live with Tell Us About Yourself, featuring, you guessed it, we booked him, the Roach.
This guy.
We
Yeah,
booked the Roach.
yeah.
Book Roach hashtag.
I know, right?
And I don't need an introduction, do I? But I'm going to
Uh,
give it to you anyway. My name is Brian Waitforge with the consigliere to the B-O-double-S. That's right. I'm here on Tell Us About Yourself with my good friend, Mr. Fox.
hey, man. All right, folks, we have a couple people watching on the Twitch. And, well, before we start with the normal questions, we're going to, since Evil Ed's there, he has his standard question, which would be cheese or pickle?
Neither.
Well,
Wait,
it's
what's
not
the
for you.
first one again? What's the first one?
Cheese. Cheese or
Cheese.
pickle?
Well, it depends on the cheese. Like, if it's cheddar, I'll eat cheddar.
I mean, I think it's just a general question, generalization.
And
Would you
I will
take
say,
cheese? Evil Ed, the cheesehead, would like to know: do you prefer cheese or pickles?
I'm gonna say cheese.
All right,
Cheese.
good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. All
Oh man, that's funny.
right. All right. So we should probably get to the standard question of: so how did you get into Super Show?
Oh, bro, you know what? It sounds stupid. I honestly thought it was a dumb game when I first heard of it. I was in my hotel room. I was getting ready for my HeroClix games. I was playing HeroClix at the time, like crazy. And so my friends who were in the room, I don't want to call them roommates, but yeah, they're playing this game. They're like getting into it. I'm like trying to like focus. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? And they're like, we're playing this game called Super Show. I'm like, what the hell is it? I'm like, it's a wrestling game. And mind you, I used to backyard wrestle and stuff forever. And I was, I'm like, well, let me try it. Like it's. They were like, yeah, take a break from HeroClix. And well, you're not gonna win. Who cares? Just come over here. I'm
Ah,
like, damn, guys. And like this was, I think for HeroClix, I was for well before my incident, I was probably the top 10.
Oh
And
wow.
after the incident, I fucking
wow.
dropped. I'm sorry, I swear, I didn't mean to
No, you
swear.
you can use profanity on this channel,
Oh, well,
so
I'll
don't
try
worry
to.
about.
Well, I dropped hard after a lot, and then well, anyways, they wanted me to play Super Show. They were like, yeah, play this game. Pat, so far, our friend Pat from Ohio, he was like, he was undefeated so far. He's like, you gotta play. I almost beat him. I'm like, I feel like, who the hell's Gold Stander? I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, whatever. I'll try this guy out. And I almost won. I was close, but I lost still. And then we played another game just for funsies, and I was like, I got hooked. I'm like, you know what? I went inside the vendor hall. I'm like, sell all my HeroClix. I sold all my HeroClix,
Wow.
everything I brought with me. I was like, I'm like, my championship team gone. This tournament I'm gonna be in dropped. I was like, I
Wow.
walked over to Steve's table. I'm like, I met Steve for the first time. Like, hey, what's up? I'm Noel. I'm past friend. Like, oh, okay. And I'm like, how much for everything? He was trying to tell me the sale. I'm like, no, let me rephrase that. How much for everything on the table? And he was like, 1 minute. And he turned around. He went back to I want to say it was Sean Teff. No, was Sean there? It was Sage, Pat, and Sean Teff. And they were talking for a while. And I'm just hanging out, waiting, letting them do their stuff. Because at the time, I was like, when I get into a game, I jump all in. And I mean, ask my wife. I know she doesn't approve of it, but it's what I do. And eventually, he came back, and we talked shop, and I bought one of everything that was on the table in the end. And then I bought one of every promotion card they have. Everything they had there with them, I bought.
Okay.
Except for the champion. Well, no, I did end up buying championship Kickstarter because he sweet talked me into it. I want to say I was at his booth for probably 4 hours, like
Ah,
4 or 5 hours, just straight, just
Wow.
me and Steve talking about everything, talking about life, kids, the game, why I made the game, and like we talked about my own company I was running at the time where I used to make custom gaming accessories, and and now I'm part of the game, playing the game. I started. I can tell you how far I started back in 2016, back when you could buy an 8-day styles for $50, and I should have bought them back then. But you know, it was good. You know, I've been in the game now for a while. I don't think I'm top tier or anything like that, but I have a good time. You know, and I don't know. You know, at the time it was like I said, it was like double digits probably player wise to me, and then it blew up.
All right. So one follow up question before I get start trying to get some of these Twitch questions down the
Yeah.
bag. So how long were you in the game before you decided to get your competitor made? Because you say you go in all in quickly, and
Yeah.
I don't know the story, so I was.
Um, I I was Jesus. My competitor wasn't made for. Let me see. Competitors were like $150 when I started the game.
Jesus
Oh God.
Christ, man. Are you kidding me?
They were cheap, bro. They were cheap.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
they were there was a Kickstarter maybe a year or two later.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was so lazy when jumping into the game, like as of myself, because I rather play the game. I want to say I waited 2 years and I bought the Kickstarter value of like 250, 300, whatever it was,
Ooh.
and then
Wow. Can
yeah,
I
because
get one of those, please? God.
if you can time travel, bro, I kind of wish I would have bought more of me. You
Wow.
know?
Yeah, man. Oof.
Oof.
Now you get like you could have gotten five competitors for price of one of them these
I
days.
know, right? It's like
Yeah,
$900 now for a competitor.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I thought it was a grand now. Whatever.
man.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it was at a grand. I think it's back to 900 for now, but yeah, it goes up and down. All
Yeah.
right, so let's
Whatever.
get to some of these Twitch
Can,
questions.
can I ask my normal Twitch question?
Sure, well, you can jump
All
ask
right.
them.
All right. Okay. Roach, who will win a fight, Lemmy or God?
Wait, who's a
Who would win
who's?
in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Oh man, I don't really want to put like my views in here, but I'm gonna go with Lenny.
Let me.
You would be correct, sir, because Lemmy is God. Anyway, move on.
Sure. All
Okay.
right. So, Candyman would like to know who do you prefer, Candyman Dan or Candyman?
Oh man, that's really hard because like I think I played against both of them. I think I lost to both of them, so it makes me like sad inside. I'm gonna nothing against the ma'am. I do like Dan. I like him as a. I feel. How do I say it? For the longest time, I really believed the rumor of him being Polka's brother. I'm like, oh, they're family. That's cool. So, so I like him.
Twins.
Yeah, I like Dan a lot. Would I give Dan my a liver? Probably not. No offense, Dan. You don't need it. But but Candy Ma'am, she's a cool person. I had art commissioned of her by herself, and I had art of her and my wife commissioned by my own art team. I should probably mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my
Yeah,
own
he
artist
does.
did. Yeah, my own artist did the art, and I like them a lot. Um, hopefully they come out soon because I want to see them. I kind of want to buy them so I can play as my wife.
Yeah,
But
makes
yeah,
sense. Speaking of your wife, the red panda would like to know what's up with the red pandas, guys.
I mean, like pandas,
red
red pan. What?
red.
What? Like happy wife, happy life. That's what the red
I
pandas.
love one. You know I love red pandas. Like I would kidnap them. I would liberate them from the zoo if I could. I mean, I think I should. I almost feel like I will. Maybe tonight. No,
Hmm.
no. I don't want to go to jail yet. I still have time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell my is my wife watching? Right? Yeah.
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 I love you.
All right. Evil Ed would like to know raid or decon.
I'm gonna let you know. Neither work. I have as a as a as my current form is as a human. Raid does not work on roaches, and a decon especially doesn't work. As myself, I can personally tell you that neither would ever do anything to me. You can fill the room up. I'm like, oh look, I smell like spring. That's what it would be to me because like we just keep evolving and good luck. Good luck.
All right.
Oh, to answer your question though, probably raid. It's four-letter word, starts with an R, just like Roach. It works.
All right. The bodybuilding would like to know Huskus the cow or Woolsey the wolf.
Can I say neither? Why don't you have a red
Yes.
panda in your building?
That.
You don't have a yeah.
Well, I
Is
mean,
he?
if you're in his building, it means he's trapped your soul. So I don't know if you want him
Yes.
to trap
Oh,
Red Panda's soul.
Yeah.
well, can he trap a roach? I'm just wondering because they don't really have souls that we're aware of, and we'll just infestate his whole building till it belongs to us. So it becomes like my building, right? Like, technically, you owe me rent, buddy. If I'm inside there, you owe me rent.
That seems legitimate to me.
Mm.
Thanks. See, Fox, and because of that, you're not ever gonna pay rent in my building.
Sounds good. I like living in places I don't pay rent for.
It's funny. Real quick before you jump to your next question, Fox. I never knew how tall you were. Right? I think I always looked at your profile picture, so I always assumed you were short, like
Okay.
shorter than cannoli.
Oh God, no.
Oh God,
And
no.
then I finally went on your profile, which don't get me wrong, I don't like going on people's profiles.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And next thing I knew how tall you were. I'm like, oh, this guy can destroy me. I'm okay.
I mean, I'm only 5'10". That's not like.
You're taller than me, bro.
Yeah.
Taller
I
than
mean,
me.
I used to be 5'11", but as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little shorter.
Oh
But-
man.
So,
Oh boy.
but yeah, I'm not super big, but yeah, I'm not a tiny person.
I thought you were like probably 5 foot zone,
Oof.
5'2".
Really?
I
Wow.
like I said, I only looked at his profile picture. I never looked at anything past that.
Yeah.
And I haven't met you. I haven't met you guys in person. So
You did
Brian,
it?
I don't know if I ever met you in person, Brian.
PAX Unplugged, maybe?
No, I've never been there.
Okay. And then we haven't met face to face yet.
No, to me, Brian, I think you're gonna be 6 feet. So
I'm 6'6", yeah.
yeah, get it.
310
Don't even
pounds.
don't even stand next to me.
Yeah. Brian's a tall one.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
tall.
Just like TJ's pretty tall too. Yeah.
Yeah, TJ's actually taller than me.
Yeah. No, it's always amazing because when I met TJ in person, I'm like, okay, like, because yeah, he's 5 or 6 inches taller than me, but he's not. We're just as wide, pretty much, because I'm a
Yeah.
wide person. So it never really impressed me like how big he was. And then I watch wrestlers. I'm like, man, some of these real wrestlers are tiny. like what the hell? I'm like, I had the same problem with professional football players and like not realizing who they were just because like you don't like defensive ends that are like 6'1", 6'2". Like they're not
Yeah.
that big.
No.
Like on TV,
Mike-
I thought they were gigantic, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're not that big.
TV adds like another 1.5 feet
Yeah.
to you. So.
Yeah.
Oh
man. All right.
Looks like we have a question in the Zoom.
All right. Let's get to it. I will lower hand, and we are ready for that question.
Hey Roach, you can stand next to me. I'm only 6'4", so you don't have to stand next to Brian.
Guys, I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7". I feel
Jeez.
short. Okay.
Well, this
I
actually, I was just going to lead into the question, and you could probably keep going from there with it. What made you decide on the imagery and iconography of a roach?
So the story behind that is simply I was 13, and my friend and I were playing SmackDown, the video game on PS1, the first one maybe. And we were wrestling, and he kept hitting my character with a chair, and he kept trying to pin me. I would kick out, hit me with a chair, I kick out. Literally went on for probably 30 minutes to an hour, and he was like, at the time we were, like I said, I was 13, he was 13. He was like, "You're an effing cockroach. Why won't you die?" And it went from there because I think later that year we started backyard wrestling with, as all young kids did. We backyard wrestle with a bunch of people.
Yep.
And so I used to be called the cockroach, and then we dropped the word cock, and I just became Roach, and it just kind of stuck progressively since then, because every time any matches my friend and I were in, I don't think I should have gotten up from, and I just got up. And if you know my personal life, you realize like I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to die anytime soon. And yeah, it's just like it's just all the events of my life just progressively stacked on top of each other. I came about with the imagery. Well, let me rephrase that. Steve's artist made the image, the shirt I wear, the hoodie I wear. I always wore a hoodie at the time. I still do because it's not that cold outside. And but Steve's art team, they did all that, and I just went with it because it's simple. Like I'm like I'd rather be wearing something that anyone can pick up at a store and wear, and that's what I went with because it reminded me of those days when I used to backyard wrestle, and it was just like gotta get in gear, gotta come out to your music, gotta get in the character. I'm like, okay, who am I? I'm like, okay, I'm the Roach. What are you gonna do to me? You gonna hit me with something? I'm like, is that gonna hurt? No? Okay, I'll believe you. God, I was so stupid. So stupid. But yeah, so I mean like I just became the Roach because of 13-year-old me from a video game, and just kind of became my life. And I was just, I don't want to say I embodied the character, but the character is just me every day, just hanging out, doing this, getting hit by this, and just keep on going, unfortunately. And I mean, I'm 37 now, so think about it. It's been 24 years I've been called the Roach. I've been in comics, I've been in books, I've been in video games. I'm in a card game. So it's fun, It's fun being part of different media as myself, always.
All right. So Red Panda is asking you to tell us about the incident.
Oh man. I'm assuming she's talking about that time I fell down the stairs, right? Is that the incident you're referring to, hon? Because that sucked. Oh my god. But she's talking about back in 2016. I took a shotgun to the face from 3 feet away,
Ooh, shit.
and then I took it to the leg and my spine, and that's what she's referring to. That's why I'm missing this beautiful tooth right here, and
Yeah.
part of a lot of my teeth, both sides, I should say, because when you get shot in the face with a shotgun, it's not a good feeling. Like I thought it was fireworks, no lie. Like I got shot in the face. Well, I mean I can go into more details, but I'm taking my dogs outside, and we were I just went to I got home early at the time. I was in a great mood, which leads to my life motto: stop being in a great mood because shit happens to me. And so I took my dogs outside. I'm like, I'm home. Let's take these dogs outside. I'm on my phone. Next, I see all these lights coming at me. I'm looking. I'm like, what the hell are these lights? I'm like, I don't know, but boy, should we step back? I'm like, we should probably step back. I didn't step back fast enough because I took that right across the face, and it hurt. Well, not enough. Like literally, I'm pretty sure my sister punches harder, but it was like I thought it was fireworks, like those confetti ones that hit me. So I'm like, oh, effing A. I'm like, effing kids, effing fireworks. I'm like cursing, and I was upset because like here I am standing there, shot in the face. I'm like putting my phone back in my pocket because now I'm like God, and I'm like telling my dog, I'm like, dog, his name was Cosmo when he was alive. I'm like, killed him because I was hurting. Which the gate was locked, so I went to kick the gate open, which then second shotgun blast through the leg that took off my calf muscle. I mean, but that grows back, you guys. I'm gonna let you know that grows back. I never knew that, so that was cool. So my dog pretty much saved my life in a way because he himself took 3 shots. Who knows how close from these guys who they were trying to break into my neighbor's house who was a drug dealer. And I knew he was a drug dealer. The landlord knew he was a drug dealer, but the landlord was his grandfather. He didn't care. He just wanted his money. And I was trying to move out of there, so I got shot, and my dog got shot. I hit the ground. I heard my dog get shot a few more times, and I'm like, ah, F. I got shot. Ah, F. My dog got shot. I'm like, damn it. And so I get up on my feet. Mind you, at the time I was unaware. My right leg had no muscles and my bones were broken.
Oh,
Because when you have adrenaline, you're like, whatever, whirl. So I tell my dogs I summon my dogs over. I'm like, dogs, let's get inside because I don't have my knife. Mind you, I used to always carry a knife. I'm not a gun person at all. I either use a knife or I used to do archery growing up, and went upstairs and long story short, I got taken to hospital and the police guy, that was a stupid time with the police too. They were like asking me all these dumb questions like, "Are you trying to protect somebody?" I'm like, "Oh no, I normally like to go outside and get shot in the face. That's just who I am." Like, what the hell, officer? Especially when the police officer walks into your apartment and goes, "Oh, we found the body," not the victim. They called me a body because they thought I was dead. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, I'm alive here, sir. I'm alive. Can you do your job and go out there and shoot somebody else?" And long story short, my dog was put down. I got shot a few times. Come to find out, like, I shouldn't walk. I shouldn't talk. I'm blind in this eye. You'll never get your sight back. We might have to take out your leg. We might remove your leg. I'm like, damn. I'm like, are you at least gonna make me a cyborg? Like, you gotta hook me up? And that never happened because this. Look how ugly I am. Like, can you picture me with a cyborg eye? That'd be amazing. I'd be hooked up to the internet 24/7. But that's just how I am. So that's if she's talking about that incident, that's that incident summarized so short. Um, but I mean, like, I'm walking, I'm talking. I still deal with pain every day because I have shrapnel up and down my spinal cord, in my that bone that vibrates so you can talk. That sucks. I hate talking because of that. I have all this scar tissue in my throat, so now, like, swallowing is a pain. I'm like, I hate this. But mind you, like, the whole time I was hallucinating in my own universe, and I stabbed the nurse. I was told. I'm like, oh, did she deserve it? And they're like, no, you took her pen and you stabbed her. I'm like, oh, that sucks. So I mean, there's more to it, but I don't want to stay on that forever. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's
wow.
that's definitely living up to the name Roach with the
Yeah,
surviving all that.
definitely is.
tell me about it. Yeah. You know what was really messed up? My friend for Christmas gave me a Deathstroke mask and comic book. He was like, "Hey,"
Ah,
he was like, "One day you can be like Deathstroke." I'm like, "Oh, I have to lose an eye." 3 months later,
Oof.
I'm like, "God damn it, dude! Did you jinx me?" He's like, "Well, at least you healed." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Look at that, you regen." So
yeah, that's definitely regen. So earlier when Ed was asking about raid or decon, maybe nuke. I think the only way you can get the roaches if you nuke them from orbit,
yeah.
and then I don't think
even
Wait,
you're
then,
killing them.
that's
it's
questionable
it,
too.
yeah. I mean, like I tell people, I'm like, dude, when every time one of my friends say, "Oh, I'll knock you out," I'm like, "Bro, you hit harder than a shotgun." I'm like, "Don't waste my time at this point." Like, at this point in your life, you're like, whatever. Punch me in the face. Hit me with this. I'm sensitive though because when my wife scratches me, I'm like, don't scratch me. It hurts. I'm weak. But it's whatever.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, for that second, I want to thank Evil Ed for the sub to the channel. The gift sub.
Yeah,
And
subbing.
yeah, we definitely have quieted some of the crowd with that conversation. Uh, I'm
Wait, what
sure.
happened to the crowd?
I think they're sitting there in all of this, of that story. So we're not
Oh,
getting as many questions.
yeah, you guys can look it up. Like, just Google that nonsense. Just go boop, hit that
Man's
Erie PA, look up by name. You'll see pictures.
Man survives
Like,
2 shotgun blasts at close range is an
yeah,
amazing story. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you survived.
Hey,
You're a cool dude,
yeah,
and you know,
thank you. I try some days.
yeah, yeah. People are Kerr out here telling you that he loves you. Beast.
Love you too, buddy. Look at that. Oh, that Kerr. Oh, well, I don't know about him. He's part of firing squad.
Yeah.
Every time I hear them, I might get PTSD of, you know,
Hey, well, at least unlike Impact, they're actually a squad that fires stuff. Like Impact just
yeah.
pretends to like be
Oh
finger
man.
banging.
You know, Pew South Park.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because like I'm so not a faction person. Like I don't care for factions. Mind you, I don't get invited to any, but I think that's just the part of me that just wants to be part of something. But
Yeah.
but you know, like it's like I started playing the game as a single competitor. I wanted my best friend to be my tag team partner, but then he stopped playing the game because marriage. He got married and he had to sell his collection, and I bought it. And I'm like, I'll buy your collection. And then I got an itch, and I'm like, I'm gonna start buying collections. So I started buying whatever I could, and now I have too much crap over there. So much stuff.
Yeah.
Not that Rising Sun soon. That's going to someone special. Wink. Not my wife who steals all my female competitors.
Well, good for her.
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
Yeah.
for her.
what is yours is hers, and what is hers is hers.
That's true.
That is the way it
God,
works.
I hear that so much, and you're right. Because I'm wearing her shirt right now.
Oh.
I'm wearing one of her shirts. These are her clothes that I wear. I miss my shirts. They're so soft. Oh, let me represent. I'm sort of like, oh, hey, this is for Smiley. This is a Smiley shirt. If you donate to his charity, you get a shirt. You get
Oh, cool.
autographs.
Cool.
You know, he's a good guy, real good guy.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to your competitor for a little bit. Did you come
Okay.
up with the gimmick, or did Steve?
That was all Steve.
It was all Steve.
Only thing I told Steve was like, hey Steve, can I survive my matches longer? He was like what? I'm like, I just want to be able to make the match last longer. Then because I was getting stomped, I was like losing like crowd meter 0 and 1. I'm like,
Mhm.
man. And now I'm going to crowd meter 4 or 5, or if there was more, probably more. But originally, Steve idea, him and I spoke about was +4 to your breakout roll whenever I wanted. I'm like, sweet. So I get 3 chances to try to get higher, so I can burn my gimmick. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Mhm.
And then somebody, maybe named Mr. Moneymaker, somebody else, maybe named Fireball, decided that's too strong, and they made it first breakout roll only, and then Steve made it the +6.
Mm.
And it was good. It was good. Oh, God, look who's coming in here. Look at this bum. Sorry. But yeah, he made Steve Steve group of people made the gimmick, and I just rolled with it. I'm like, I liked it because it allows me to build whatever way I want. So like, I don't have a gimmick that lets me. I have to build for. I have a gimmick that lets me build whatever I feel like playing. So if I wanted to play a game where I add to my turn roll, then I'll play a deck built like that. If I want to play a deck where I can flip, I'm like, I'll play a deck like that. But honestly, like I just play so I can play, and that's it. Like I play the mash. Oh, who was I playing against? Harvey Lester, Steel Cage, at Brian's pop-up event recently, and I played Eve, Evie,
Evie. Yep.
where I mean I could have flipped down and flipped and cleared out my deck, but I'm like, it's not how I play. I play to beat you. Like I want to pin you or make you tap. So like with my competitor, as you can see, like I play so I can play my cards and hit you with finishers. Like my finish strike, which is named Bow to Me, well, Bow to NSX King. It was really supposed to be called the ball tap because that was one of my finishers playing forever. Like I would ball tap every like, mind you, I shouldn't take credit for that. My friend when he was alive, his name was Steve DeSantis. He died of a heart attack when he was 17.
Jeez.
So we were in high school together, and he used to ball tap me every day out of nowhere. This guy was like a ninja. He's like, blah, done, and would disappear. I'm like, what the hell, man? When you catch me? And so I wanted a move that would remind me of him, you know. So I started when he passed away. I his group of friends. They used to be called what were they called? Erie Wrestling Federation. They wanted me to. They asked me to come join. I'm like, yeah, man, this is for Steve. You know, I watched videos of Steve because we all recorded our backyard wrestling. I mean, I still have my VHS tapes. I just don't have a VHS player, which is sad. And this guy he was horrible when it came to promos, horrible promo game. But he had one-liners out of the wazoo. Like he was in a match where someone gave him a cookie tray, but there was no cookies, and he was like, "These aren't cookies." They would just nail the guy with a cookie tray, and I was like, "Man, I miss that kid." So my finish strike is the ball tap. You know, can't be called the ball trap because we're a family-friendly game, and we don't want kids to start ball tapping one another. And then my finish grapple, the incessicide, I wanted it because Christian Cage's finisher, and I liked him a lot, like a lot. And I'm glad he's in AEW and I get to watch him wrestle again, hopefully. And then my finish submission is the Crippler Crossface because Chris Benoit was my favorite guy when he was alive and before his breakdown.
Yeah.
So, but you know, like honestly, like all this stuff, what it does, Steve came up with it. Like only thing I wanted with the ball tap was originally I wanted a version of EC3's unfriendly finisher, and that's it. I wanted the exact same thing, and he was like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about? He was like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about this? He's like, it was like, can I get a draw for? He was like, no. I'm like, okay. Can I give my opponents buried? He's like, there's too many buried competitors. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can I hurt their power? Oh, originally he wanted it to be their technique. I'm like, no, make it power because if anyone get hit in the balls, they're gonna be weak for a little bit. So make it power. And I wanted the -1. He made it the -2, and he was like, I'll draw. You can have a draw one card. I'm like, whatever, man. And for the first 100+ games of me playing as myself, I can tell you I never pulled out my finish strike, or when I did, I would never win the turn roll. I'm like, come on. I think the first time I ever won the turn roll with my finish strike in hand was a game against Brian when you played
Yep.
the Mad One. That was
Yep.
the first time ever. I'm like, yes. And then what was so that was that part was Steve and me talking back and forth. The combo of the grapple, letting if you know the if stop grapple, I can pull a submission. That was also Steve. I'm gonna give him credit there because I don't remember ever asking for it. Neither do I remember the burying the cars at random to the crowd mirror. That was also Steve. I think the stats might have been me, but I didn't know any better back then when I made my competitor cards. But I like them. You know, they're good. I have a crap ton of artwork, as you guys probably saw, of things I want to make into the game at some point for new finishers, but I'm not in any hurry until I sell out on the website, which originally was my intent, but then they got more of me in. I'm like, come on, Steve, sell me out so I can make a new me.
Makes sense. Yeah.
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 All right. So just let the folks watching know, we got about 25 minutes or so left in the show, so get your questions in. So as the people on stream didn't get to see the person who entered the room that you made that comment on, actually has a question, and that is mother loving Bobby O.
We'll let
My
this bum
mom
in.
doesn't love. My mom doesn't love him.
So if he wants to ask his question, he may.
What's up?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good evening.
What's up?
I got a question for Mr. Red Panda, aka the squashed one.
You didn't
Wow.
squash me. Okay,
Uh,
you took me to crowd meter 3, buddy, and you only
You
won
took
because
me-
my dice was not hot.
You took me to crowd meter 3 because my dice were frozen on finish rolls. But I digress. So I just have a question. I mean, because you talked about your fandom and everything of Christian, and is Christian, right? Like your favorite type?
He's
Is it
my
Christian
well,
or
Christian's my favorite. Him and Christopher Daniel are the two last
Okay.
living competitors. Sorry,
All right.
living wrestlers who are my favorite.
What would you do? What would you do right now to ball tap Christian? You want to ball?
Like,
You
we're in
love
the same
ball
air.
tap. It's just funny to me.
I don't love ball tap. I haven't ball tapped in what day is this? I haven't ball tapped anyone in years, months. I haven't ball tapped anyone since.
When you consider somebody a ninja ball tapper, you had your balls tapped quite a bit.
I got bro. I'm telling you, and my friend and I, he died in before our senior year, so I'm 3 years worth of ball taps to this guy, and I can still make kids, not anymore, but I made a crap ton of kids, so it tells you I'm durable.
But nonetheless, I just want to get on here for real to say it was a great match. I appreciate it. You're an awesome champion as well as competitor, my brother.
Thanks, buddy. I mean, like, I was a little sad, but I'm not gonna lie, that I got that belt and it was weighing me down heavily because I could not win any
Dude.
matches since winning that.
Bro,
And
I knew you was gonna hit me with that finish strike first. I knew that was gonna draw for that. But I don't want to hold anyone up. I want to tell everybody what's up. And Mitty says hello to everybody. Mitty's back here. I don't know if y'all can see Mitty.
Hi, Mitty.
You tell Mitty.
She in the car seat?
She's sitting in the back.
She's not buckled?
Oh man.
Because we're not moving yet.
You get pulled over.
We're not moving yet.
Make sure she gets buckled in.
You know, Don't worry, Bobby. I have my own copy of that title that I made from NT3, so he can have it in his room always. So your title is probably like missing a part of himself because of that.
He's actually doing it right now.
Gee. You know what's funny? I was gonna send that title to him with a roach. I was gonna fill the box and bags with roaches. I was gonna spray him gold though, so he had all these golden roaches. And then I was just too lazy. I didn't do it.
There you go. We was just chilling. We wasn't doing nothing. We just came from the work. We stopped at the park. We've been playing hide and seek today. She snuck into the studio. Mitty is wild, man. Mitty is a wild one, I'm telling you. But I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
Bobby, before you go, I hope you get to defend it at least once, you know? I hope you get that one defense under you. Unlike me.
I'm looking forward to it. Mitty loves it here.
Yeah, well,
and we're just looking forward to spending time together.
Yeah, I mean, well, we know the Roach is a fighting champion, but Bobby O, I hear, is choosing not to go to Ohio for WrestleMania, so he doesn't have to defend it. He's skipping out on that one.
First of all, I live in Ohio, so I don't have no choice but to go to Ohio with your nosy self. Like, stop doing that. I live here.
I mean, look, I wanted to like give you credit for like being a normal person who doesn't live in Ohio, but if you want to like admit to people that you live in Ohio, that's on you.
I will never turn down the fact that I live here. You understand? I mean, I don't understand. Don't get me started with that Philadelphia cheesy dirt stuff down there. We're not going to do that today. This is the show. I'm trying to be calm. What? Oh, yeah. She said, shut your ass up.
I mean, it has no dominion over me because I'm not in that territory.
How dare you let her use that language?
Eventually it'll go back to the Roach.
You didn't even let her go outside. Were you kidding me?
Have you been to Erie?
To do stuff.
You know what? Have you
I
heard
don't
the
have to
story
take
of what
this.
happened when he went outside walking his dogs?
Yeah, he got shot in the face.
I don't want to go outside.
Yeah. Like,
You know
why
what?
would you
I
put
don't
the
have to
belt
take
at
this.
risk?
I don't have to take this. I'm out of here. Love you guys. Bye. We're going to spend some
Bye.
time.
Bye
You want a
bye.
milkshake, Mitty? You want a milkshake?
I want a
you want some-
milkshake.
Okay.
She has
Your name's
lactose
not Mitty.
intolerance.
She is. What is?
He'll find out the
Oh,
hard
jeez.
way. He'll
Yeah,
find
let
out
him
the
find
hard
out the
way.
hard way when he's cleaning the diaper.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys.
See,
Later, Bobby.
Yeah.
Plus, to be fair, he's in Ohio. It all look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
You know,
what?
it's
I was about to
crazy.
leave. I was about to leave, but you had to put that last piece on there, didn't you? You had to wipe it up.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm going.
Before we get to the next question, Red Panda has said that she has put ball tap on the calendar as a to-do.
Ah.
So, have fun. All right, we have a question from the Nightmare King.
What's going on there, Roach?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I just have a simple question to ask you. Name me your top 5 favorite male wrestlers and 5 top female wrestlers.
Oh man, that's hard. They alive, right? Alive.
Yes, alive.
Okay. Just checking. There's an independent wrestler that goes by the name Arrow, Aero. He's also a referee. I like him a lot. He wrestles around my area. I'm not sure if he still does it, but he lives out of Ohio, right outside of Cleveland, in a little town called Elyria. I know the place. I lived there for a while. And it's like, but I like him a lot. Christopher Daniels for sure. Christian Cage. I'm gonna always add Cage because that's how I see him. Let me see. I'm Sabu. I need a fifth competitors. Guys, it's Chavo. I like Chavo. I was always a little Chavo fan when I was a little kid. Growing up, I liked him more than Eddie. I'm not gonna lie. And then especially when he was a lieutenant. He was Lieutenant something in WCW. Lieutenant Loco, I think, because I tried stealing that actually for local leagues here. Female competitor though.
Hold on? Were you a big fan of Chavo when he was the caddy, Kerwin?
Oh God.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're referring to. I deleted that memories. All memories got. Who was that?
I'll have to send you a link to it.
Yeah, we'll send you. I know exactly what you're talking
He
about.
was an excellent golfer, Kerwin White.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he taught me how to golf. Yes.
Yes.
And by the way, guys, I do golf. I haven't golfed in a long time, but I do golf. It's weird. Trust me, being the only Latin guy out there, they're like, everyone looks at me. I'm like, hey, good day to you, sir. I'm like, I'm just trying to go through here. Female competitors. Oh, Jesus, this sucks. Evilise, for sure, number 1 from Lucha Underground. That's what got me. Aerial Star was for a while, but I dropped her after her behavior. Bailey, no, not Bailey. Shoot, I don't know. I like Bailey now with the way she's going about her characters a lot. And Sasha Banks, I just like her finisher. Honestly, that code breaker into a crossface. I'm like, damn, I want to steal that. Damn, how will you put that in artwork form? I have no idea.
Panels.
Yes, panels like they did my finisher, but go on.
All right. Let me see. Female compare. I'm not really that versed in the ladies that much. There was who was she? There was a scary Japanese wrestler back from New Japan when I was growing up who was in death matches all the time. I can't remember her name, but that's my first death match I watched was two female wrestlers, and I'm like, damn, that lady's scary. I like her. I wish I knew her name. It's funny because I recently saw a picture of her somewhere. It's just on a YouTube video. And I really don't. Really don't watch a lot of female wrestlers. You know, it's nothing against them. I think the story I was given of female with them have been kind of hurts my feelings of them. Not not saying that they're bad. I mean, they can kick my ass for sure, but I just don't get myself involved in the story as much as I should be. If I if I could, if I have to add two more, I would, or one more. I think I would just what's her name? Dakota Kai. I like her a lot. I think she has something going for her. And Sarah Logan was a favorite of mine in the Meidong Classic, but then she got fired. But she's really good, guys. I'm just letting you know her baby's getting bigger, so she's a nice person. I didn't know my boss knows her too because he was at her wedding, and I'm like, God damn it, Ed, are you even real? But yeah, I would say them. I'm sorry. I don't know if I didn't answer your question 100%. I'm sorry. I'll try better next time.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Cool.
All right, folks. So if you have questions, hit up in the chat or put your hand up and ask them.
Can I talk about something randomly?
Yeah.
Can I talk? Can we all remember to, in every post, any comments or any promos you guys get a chance to do, remember to talk about how Firing Squad sucks. Firing Squad, they suck. Just remember, especially Tim, Time Bomb Tim.
Well, yeah. Well, they took the guy I wanted to recruit, but you know, it is what it is.
They've had some solid people who jumped to the top of that faction. Brian and Swaggy D. They were two really good competitors.
And Brock.
Yeah. You're only saying Brock because he beat you.
No, actually, I played Brock in my locals. He's really good, and
he beat me.
But I didn't just drop it to him.
So I definitely got to say they are a faction that are adding better players to it.
So that means they're going to be on the same level as Impact with how many members they have, right? So they're going to have like 32 members.
No, that's Crime Wave, buddy. That's Crime Wave.
Everyone's left the Crime Wave, like almost everyone's left them like rats on a sinking ship. Crime Wave's down to Schmidt, Dippy, the Goat, Barone, and the Boss, I believe.
And Miss Fury.
Okay.
Oh, and Miss Fury. Yeah.
We're still here.
Okay.
TJ had other contractual obligations. Yeah. So he is no longer part of the Crime Wave.
Otherwise known as Better Things to Do.
Wow.
Guys, let's not diverse. Let's not go off the path. We're talking smack on the Firing Squad. Let's push them. Let's talk them to the ground.
Yeah, Practice Firing Squad, I believe.
Yes.
Every week they lose a member. Every week they get somebody new. It's hard to know who's who anymore. Like Fox, are you part of Firing Squad?
I'm not. I am 100% the line, and I've been that way for a year about now.
Yep.
So we're not one of those musical chair factions.
No.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, one day maybe I'll be a part of a faction. Maybe I'll join a faction. Maybe I'll make a faction.
Well,
maybe.
Red Panda is suggesting that maybe you need to join Crime Wave.
We're closed.
I mean,
that's from the boss, not me.
I mean,
if it was up to me, I would have signed 2 people already. Roach would have been one of them.
Oh, that's cool.
But unfortunately, the boss says we're closed. We're closed. I can't do anything about it.
No, it's no big deal. I probably would.
You know, the bodybuilding say they're trying to sign Oracle, but you know, you say you're not part of a faction, but you own the bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he just pays me.
You own that faction.
No, he pays me rent. He just pays me rent.
But doesn't he pay Chuggy rent too?
And that's the other thing. You definitely own whatever Prince Margarine. Whatever.
I can't believe it's not useless. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whatever Prince Margarine has, I'm sure you own that too.
Yeah.
Weird question. I know we want to put down Fire Squad as much as we can right now, but if you had a choice, this is just a random question. Choice of movies to watch for the rest of your life. Horror films, rom-coms, or action comedies?
Oh man. Okay, so I'm not sure who's watching this. It's in a spread, but I have a guilty pleasure of watching chick flicks. So probably romantic comedy. You can always get me there.
Okay.
I for the books though, I would say horror.
Obviously.
Horror. But if I had to suffer for the rest of my life and watch romantic comedies, I guess I can survive.
I would have went with rom-coms.
Yeah. You know, wait, you guys, let me tell you guys remember that movie, The Proposal?
Yes. With Ryan Reynolds? Yes.
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 Let me just say, I forced my friend to go with me to a midnight showing so I can watch that movie.
You went to a midnight show in The Proposal?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Ew.
Okay, I'll clap that. I'll clap that.
Thank you.
Much respect.
I was a young man, but I was like, my best friend at the time. I was like, yo, you have to come with me to this movie, and she was like, why? I'm like, I can't go alone. I have to make it look like, and you know,
I mean,
it
you
was
can go alone. It's a good way to
Just
meet
creepy.
No, it's a good way to, especially the midnight showing. It's a good way to meet single women.
That
it
is
was
true.
packed. It was packed, and at the time I just needed company. I was like, no, it was a good time. I do like romantic comedies. I like chick flicks. But I do love horror movies a lot.
Okay.
I can't watch them because I don't want to give NT3 nightmares.
That
I
makes sense.
learned that mistake with my oldest daughter. Because she used to watch horror movies with me when she was 3 or 2,
Yeah.
and trust me, that didn't go well. When she was like, "Dad, can you tell the old lady on my ceiling to go away?" I'm like, "Nope, nope. I'm just gonna leave this room with you. We're leaving this room." that's how I roll. I'm like, I don't mess with the dead people.
Favorite horror film?
Oh shoot, do I have a favorite horror film? I don't have one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Not that nothing pops up to my head. If
Okay.
you would have asked me, favorite film, I would have told you Darren Dargo and Memento.
Great movie.
Memento for sure.
Memento. Both great movies.
Yeah. It's weird. I feel it makes me old because a lot of people are like, what? What's Darren Darko? What's this? I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like, I love when people tell me what's Fight Club. I'm like, God damn, my
Are you
generation.
kidding me?
What happened? Dude, trust me. There's these young people who don't know anything about the world, and I'm like, you won't live long in this world. I hope zombies happen today. Like, don't get me wrong. If some apocalyptic event happened, I'd be like, well, at least the planet's gonna survive a little bit longer. But when I had kids, the second I found out I was gonna have kids, I was like, God damn, I'm dead now. I'm one of those people who died in the first wave of zombies. They were like, what? I'm like, I'm just saying, now I got to think of other people's lives. Mind you, I don't regret my kids or anything. I love them. I'll lose an arm or two for them. They grow back. Yeah, they grow back. And oh man, I'm going crazy here. You got lead me back on path, guys.
All right. Well, so here's a different train of thought. Ken Fouché would like to know. He said he wants tell us more about all the fabulous art you have posted on your Facebook recently.
I just wanted to share them. I don't have money to make them. I don't get them made into cars or anything. Originally, the artwork started like the picture of my wife. She was the first one. It started because I wanted to make my own game, my own like a fighting game or some kind of system for you to like just not role play, but just interact and just fight. Because at the time, I think what was it that was out there? Universe Fighter,
UFS, Universal Fighting System.
Damn, that game made me think, like, man, I want to make a game. I want to be part of a fighting game. I didn't want a wrestling game because like SRG, that's wrestling, and the the fighting system. I'm like, crap, there's a fighting game already, but there were so many at the time. I'm like, oh, I just want to be part of it, you know. So I made my wife into a character, as you see behind me. And from there, that's when I met my artist, Abman, and he's a real nice guy. He was like, hey, we'll work together, whatever. I'm like, sweet. So he made this artwork. He made the artwork of me as Nightwing / Nick Fury that I think might be on my page. And he was working on another piece of artwork where I was fighting Big Guy. And I met my other artist, Camilla. I'm butchering her name because I can't pronounce it correctly. Mind you, she's Latin. I do think I should, but she's a good girl. She's good. She makes me laugh. She made me other artwork like that you see of me as SRG Roach. So I have this cyberpunk feel artwork that I wanted to go with, where Roach as myself and my wife as Red Panda look more superhero-y. You know, we're working currently on villains and stuff. Then you have my other artwork, which is just purely wrestling-ish art, like into that style. And so I started making that artwork because I wanted to, you know, like it gives them something to do because the pandemic crushed their source of income. Like Camilla, she's the youngest daughter of 5, you know, second oldest, and so she's the only breadwinner of her house. So I try to, whatever time I get her clients, I'm trying to get her money to pay for her household. Ahmed, he lives out there in the Middle East. He's a nice guy. He's super easy to work with. He's done artwork for a lot of people that I don't think have all been spoiled yet, because I know they haven't. I know I can't talk about them because I have to keep my mouth shut if there are. So he with him and I started working together. It was a one-time project, which then led to a multiple-time project, which led to weekly projects with me and him. And I'm at a point where it's like, if I want to make my own faction pack, I have all the artwork for it. But don't tell Steve because I don't want to make him mad at me. But yeah, you know, I met these 2 people, and I work with other smaller artists here and there, and we have our issues. Like, trust me, we have issues. But I just like connecting with other people. So they do artwork for me, but at the same time, I push, since I promote their artwork and they get to share my artwork and show people stuff. I took them out of their comfort zone. Their comfort zone. Like, Ahmed, this artwork that you see behind me, outside his zone. This isn't him. You know, he's used to drawing people. He's not used to all the details. So with me and him working together, he's getting more experience. He's getting more exposure. Like, literally, this kid's busy. Like, right now, he's stuck. No, he just finished. He's finished that job. He was currently working with a company out in Germany. Me and him were talking to, and he was dealing with their artwork, but he finished their job for them finally. And you know, he's thankful for me. I'm thankful for him. I tell him all the time, like, your art, I love your art, bro. He's like, bro, because of you, I bought a new computer. I can do art. He spits out art now in like 3 days. Like, literally, this guy is a machine. Like, done. Like, and the funny thing is, like, every step of the way, he blows up my messenger. He's like, black and white, sketch, this pose, different things constantly. I'm like, bro, why don't you do this? He's like, what? I'm like, why don't you just do this? And like, it'd be like a different strand of the hair or like the elements behind you. He's like, I didn't think about that. I'm like, well, bro, you're not paying me, so who cares? Like, I'm paying you some days. I'm at this point where our relationship is, I find him people or I connect them to businesses, and I just get artwork sent to me. And you know, we're good. Like I said, he's easy, he's fast. He's
really
probably
fast.
to me he's the best. And I tell him that. He's too modest. He's like, oh, I'm the nobody. And I'm like, shut up. Like, and he's his English, his concept of English isn't that strong. So when I tell him, if I'm joking, I'm like, let me explain myself. I'm kidding, bro. He's like, oh, okay. But he's a good guy, real good guy. Hopefully one day get to meet him, but COVID, and
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever travel to the Middle East. I don't think I'm allowed because look at me, guys. I literally look like a Middle Easterner, and I'll probably be in trouble. So I try not to travel. Like, quick story. Sorry, when I used to work for Sam's Club, family of I think they were Iraqis. I'm gonna say that, but I feel like I'm wrong. They came over to me, they're talking to me, and I'm like, look, I know we're the same. I know we all. I'm Spanish, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm a Latin guy. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. I'm like, no, don't be sorry to me. I get it all the time. I'm like, literally, that person over there thought I was a terrorist the other day. Who cares? Like, I'm like, whatever. My mom does that to me too. She's like, you take care of your beard. I'm like, you look. She's like, you look like us. I'm like, what's us, mom? Really? I'm an American, okay? She'll bust my balls about it.
Yeah. All right. So we've hit the 7:30 time. So I'll wrap up the show. Thank you for coming on. It was fun, man.
No,
So
thank you for having me.
yeah, everyone should book the Roach because it's always great.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe that hashtag got me booked in anything, but it did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was copying Flip Gordon. I was just trying to rip him off.
Yeah. Well, the best thing was when you avoided having to wrestle or go up against the Rev. That was probably the best part of that storyline.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because that
you
was
mean
Anyway.
you mean that day I took off for my family so I can go out? Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
That was
that was great. That probably made the hashtag even better. Because if he would have shown up, people would have been like, "Oh, whatever." But after that, it became a joke, and then it just caught on. Like
Yeah.
as a
no,
serious thing after that.
I hear from Calais all the time and Steve. They're like, "Are you gonna show up?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm gonna show up." I'm like, "Geez, my wife gave me permission. I'm showing up."
One time, man. All right. Well, again, thank you for the show. It was great. Thank you, Schmidt, for coming on.
Anytime, brother.
And next week, the guest on the show will be
Ooh.
El Champion de Failure, I believe is the name. El Champion de Failure.
Failure?
I believe that's the name now. I got a message from Uberstar saying that I'm not allowed to use the other word.
Oh, you mean llama?
Man, I'm making sure he sends that bill to you, man.
Go right ahead.
So yeah, the L word. So yeah, next week we'll be having the failure on, and it'll be great. So again, thank you both, and until
Thank
next
you,
time,
guys.
everyone. We'll see you
Hi,
next
guys.
Peace out.
week.
Book me.
Book Roach.